Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for the invitation, and thank you for being here also. So I'm very pleased to introduce you to Mediapart, which, of course, is, maybe you know it, maybe you don't, is an independent French daily online newspaper. And it was found in 2008 by Edoui Plenel and 3 other journalists. We thought it was very important to have journalists, running this newspaper, and we still do. So Mediapart is very specific. It's a very specific model because we're 100% independent. We're independent right now, and we want to be, of course, to be independent in the future. We have no advertising. We have no financial shareholders. We have no state subsidies, and we are no dependence on the GAFAM. So we think in Mediapart that it is our interesting force to be only dependent to our readers. We have this slogan when we launched Mediapart 15 years ago. This slogan was only our readers kind by us. It was at the moment kind of a bet because I don't know if you remember in these years that in the internet the idea that only free information would be interesting. And so it was kind of controversial to think that, people would be ready to would be ready to pay for valuable and exclusive news and for investigation, and that we thought that, we would do, and obviously that's what we did, because right now our model is totally is successful. We are the third daily newspaper in France behind Le Monde and Le Figaro. And we did achieve the second step in our independence when it was in 1919, when our founders transferred all their shares to Mediapart's team by creating a non-profit organization called the Fund for a Free Press. It was kind of inspired by the Scott Trust of The Guardian, and in France, it was a first. So from this date, Mediapart cannot be sold or bought by anyone anymore. So our totally independent model enables us to produce daily online information by publishing from 10 to 15 stories each day. That's not very much, but we think that's enough, for our readers to get informed. So it includes, of course, investigation, it includes reporting, it includes analysis, and we also have an English version which we translate 2 to 3 stories each week. So we publish articles on matter of public interest. That's what we are for. We publish stories with and the values we cherish are those of social justice, equality for all, regardless of age, gender, class, gender, and culture, of course. We fight for a more inclusive society and against discrimination and against the causes of the climate change. We publish stories on political and financial corruption, as well as on social, sexual, and police violence, environmental damages, and public health. Some of our stories had echoes around the world. There's one of it here. It is the Rafale paper story, which revealed numerous compromising alignments behind the scenes of the contract for the 36 Rafale fighters that France sold to India. It was in 2016. And I can name another story which had echoed around the world. It was the Sarkozy-Gaddafi story, which revealed how a French president compromised with one of the worst dictators on the planet to finance his presidential campaign. So we worked on this story, this Sarkozy-Gaddafi story, for approximately 11 years. And now Sarkozy in France and a bunch of ex-ministers are facing trial in France for these facts. So what are our editorial principles? Our journalism is based on the research of the truth of fact, which is, we think, the absolutely condition for quality journalism. It is the condition for carrying out our public interest mission among citizens who have the right to know. Our democratic mission is to give citizens what belongs to them, information allowing them to understand the world as it is, to intervene in the public debate, and to act. Also, we want to have impact. We are not just observers of the world as it is. We want to show what is ignored, what is denied, what is hidden, by putting the rulers, the powerful face-to-face with their responsibilities. We want to move the lines. We have no sensationalized desire to bring down this personality or this other personality. Our ambition is to provoke awareness, is to provoke reforms, is to provoke ruptures. And thanks to some of our investigations, laws in France were adopted, for example, in order to force MPs to make their assets public before the elections. Intelligibility, making sense. What meaning do we give to the information we produce? A newspaper is not just an accumulation, of news. We have to give priority. We have to get sense through the analysis and report we do. We live in a very confused world, in a very troubled world. And by giving meaning, we provide tools to act, to help readers find their place in society and be actors in their individual and collective destinies. Mediapart is also very specific and unique because it is a participatory media. What it means that all our subscribers, we have, I didn't say, I'm sorry, 220,000 subscribers at the moment. All our subscribers are invited to write in their blog. We publish, all the figures are on the screen, a lot of blogs and comments each month. And that's very important for us. Our readers constitute a very lively community. They can write directly to each other, and they can ask journalists all the questions they want to ask. And that's very necessary for us to understand that we are at the same level at, the people and the readers. I just, gave you these figures just for you to have an idea of our growth in these 15 years. The subscribers growth. So it's even a bit more than what I told you before, because now we're having 220,000 subscribers, unique subscribers. And I give you also all these figures because each year we publish our results, because we think it's very important for our readers to know where we are, what we do, what are the figures. We're expecting that, from the governments, so we're doing the same with our readers, being very transparent to them also. So that's our annual revenue growth, which get higher and higher over the year. And it's starting to be more stable at these years, but still we're very profitable. Here you can see how profitable we are. We have been profitable now for 11 years. So you can see the jump. It was in 2010 with a story concerning the heir of L'Oréal companies, l'affaire Bettencourt, which gave us a lot of breeze to go on with our model. And that's our staff number. At the beginning, I was there at the beginning, and we were only 15 journalists and 2 or 3 other people doing marketing and technical support. But we realized very soon that we had to be more non-journalist staff also. So now we're approximately half journalists and half non-journalists. And we're now, well, it's a bit more, we're 145 now staff this year. So, since that's the idea of this keynote and the panel that would follow, how to gain this perpetual sustainability, because it's of course very great to be sustainable at the moment, but how do we do to stay sustainable in the future? With high inflation, with news fatigue, information through platforms, declining trust in news, we question the sustainability of our model. As for now, our perspective remains for the major part on reader revenue only. What does it mean? For us, it means keeping our readers. How do we do that? We do that by knowing our audience, by knowing our readers. We do that also by offering them a better reader experience through better products. Also, we do that by trying to engage our readers. Through blogs, they can write, as I told you, and comments, of course, which are on a free speech basis. And also, we organize multiple events outside of our office, all around France and sometimes around Europe, to get to know them physically, our readers. We want to have a very strong and very proximate relationship with them. Also, to be very close to our readers, since we want really to keep them, we have to write for them. Really, we have to think of our readers anytime we have stories. As I told you, we're doing investigation mainly, so it's very in-depth stories. As I told you before, the Sarkozy-Gaddafi case, we worked on it for 11 years. Of course, journalists were not only working on these stories, so it's very long, very in-depth stories we publish, so very detailed also, and so we always have sure that these stories are accessible. So we write a lot these days on the editing of this story to make sure that everybody is going to read the article from A to Z. And also, of course, to keep our readers, we work on the quality and still work on the quality of what we are doing. What does it mean also if we want to be sustainable in the future? It means to enlarge our community. So how we do that, to enlarge our community? So by writing about crucial questions that really interest all the people, and especially young audience at the moment. And of course, we reinforce our journalist investigation on the climate changes, on sexual violence, because we think it's very important for all the public to be, to have information about this subject. And also by offering free access to some of our contents to the readers, to the people, to the audience who would not directly know us, but we would want to know more about us so they can understand what we're producing in terms of information. So we publish newsletters, which are free of access. We publish some podcasts which are free of access, and also videos, which are free of access. And also, we're still working on our communities, on social media, to enlarge as much as we can this community. And we just launched special show on Twitch, which is published, which is realized once a week from a few months now. So also we try to diversifying our revenue, trying to get some new kind of revenue, such as B2B, donation and partnership, but at the moment it remains quite marginal, and we want it to keep marginal because the sustainability of model is based on our readers' revenue only. And for the conclusion, I would say that the model seems to be solid so far, but what if reader revenue just crashes in the next years? That leads us to the third step of independence we are entering just now, financial independence for the future. We want, since we are profitable right now, we want to save money, enough money to make sure that, if we're going through hard times, we have this money ready to help us and to help us stay with this growth. And also, at the same time, we save money, but we always want to still invest in journalism to make sure also that we are on the spot for covering, the best stories and more in-depth stories. So, like many others, we feel that changes are on the way, and we want to be ready for them and keep an open mind with independence as a guide.